Ohayo.
Ohayo. Welcome to the So Japanese podcast, a podcast where we talk about all things Japan. We are your hosts. My name is John.
My name is Ryusuke.
Thank you for joining us today.
ありがとうございます。
Today's podcast is the fourth installment of our Subcultures of Japan set of podcasts.
はい。
This episode, we're going to talk about Chicano and Decora. Two very different subcultures in Japan.
Yeah.
The Chicano subculture in Japan is, I think, the first subculture that I noticed in Japan. Because, like, even in a small town in Himeji, I would see, like, a bunch of lowriders driving through. And I first thought, wow, there's Mexicans
Oh, really?
living here because...
That look.
Exactly. Then upon closer, a closer look, oh, they're Japanese guys. But yeah, so we'll start with Chicano. So the Chicano or Chicana refers to people who are native or have descendants from Mexico and live in the United States. So a lot of the time, Mexican Americans choose to identify as Chicana or Chicano in the States. So it started in the 1960s, there was a social and political stance known as the Chicano movement. It was inspired by acts of resistance among descendants of Mexican immigrants in the 40s and 50s, as well as the Black Power movement in the 60s. The Chicano movement worked towards not only embracing the Chicano identity and achieving empowerment, but also combating structural racism and rejecting assimilation. So it's something very much prideful for these people.
Yeah, where they come from.
Exactly. So their style is their general stereotypical style would be flannel, oversized t-shirts, tank tops, bandanas, baggy chinos, jeans, Dickies, Nike Cortez shoes, any LA, Los Angeles team gear, especially Dodger gear, a lot of Catholic imagery, rosaries, Virgin Mary. I would say their tattoo style, a lot of fine line, black and gray. So in Japan, the Chicana style became popular in the late 80s, early 90s. People say because of the Lowrider magazine was brought to Japan, or like some Japanese reporters went to LA in the 80s and brought the style to Japan. In Japan, I would say Nagoya, from doing our research, is actually kind of like the hub of lowrider Chicano culture. I think because Nagoya is also like the car manufacturing capital of Japan. So a lot of car enthusiasts there. So lowriders, I think everyone knows lowriders, but like classic American vintage cars, super nice paint jobs, lowered, really low, hydraulic pump systems, makes the car jump. Another aspect that I noticed that they have like super small steering wheels. So up until now, even in Nagoya, they have like once a month lowrider meetups, and then once a year like a lowrider convention
At the like a convention center. Well, because I'm from Nagoya, and actually one of my older friends, they're the style of, I thought it was lowrider. We call lowrider. We didn't even call Chicano style.
Okay.
So like, I actually didn't know the Chicano style.
Okay.
Yeah. Like,
so back then when you saw how they dress, how they look, you thought It had nothing to do with. Okay.
I thought it was like gangster from LA, like West Side,
Okay.
US.
Okay.
Yeah. And then I think my friends they didn't even really say Chicano,
Okay.
and they always listening hip hop.
Did you know that it's from like Mexican culture?
No, I
Okay.
didn't know.
Okay.
So that was right. Like I didn't have enough education for this. I hope my friends know, but anyway, like it was
right. For them to take
the
the style,
Yep.
I hope they are educated and enough to
Yep.
pay respects to
Yep.
where it's
Yep.
from, right?
But like, yeah, when they drive the cars, it was like, first, I love a car, I love a motorcycle, and the cars are really beautiful.
Super beautiful.
Super beautiful, super cool. I still remember my friend had blue 1960s Impala,
Okay.
Chevrolet
Yeah.
Impala.
Classic.
Yeah. And obviously it's jumping.
Yeah.
They, for the what's the call in English?
Hydraulics. Yeah.
Hydraulic. When they use that, it has the sound. It's like
Yes. Yeah.
And then when they start jumping, like and it was like go high, go high.
Definitely, it attracts a lot of attention.
A lot,
especially in Japan, right?
Yeah, and I mean like just the car by themselves, it's beautiful. Yeah, but I also heard several times they caught on fire because of the hydro.
Okay.
Yeah, and then one car just burned out in Nagoya in a city.
Okay.
Because of that.
Yeah.
It's not even cheap car.
No.
So.
But I guess you're pushing it to the limit because you want to show off, right?
But also because my older friends, he owns the car shop.
Okay.
So that's also why, because like it's not really hard for him because he has more extra car to use it. Yeah. But yeah, I remember. But also I didn't know that Nagoya was the hub for lowriders.
Yeah,
I see a lot. But yeah.
Yeah, I think I feel like from our research, Chicano subculture style in Japan, it's like really still thriving in Nagoya.
Yeah.
The most famous rapper, Chicano style rapper, is Mona, aka Sad Girl, Japanese girl. And from watching her videos on YouTube, it feels like she really pays respects to the culture. She's super educated about it. But I guess if you were to ask like Chicano American, they might feel otherwise, right? Whether you're stealing their style or not. But I think with any subcultures in Japan, I feel like Japanese people, because they kind of devote themselves so much to it that you can't help to like understand that they're respecting the culture that they took it from, because they're fully involved, right? It's not just like a weekend thing or a nighttime thing just to hit up like the clubs. Like
in your life.
Exactly. They're fully invested in it, right? So I feel like from their point of view, the way that they're adapting elements of other cultures, it's a way of showing appreciation and admiration. And they don't mean to insult.
No.
Right? But like with other subcultures that we talked about before, and how we talk about the problem, we should say, in Japan of like needing to fit in, caring about what other people feel about them, feeling the judgment, that for these people, these Japanese people, there must be something within Japanese culture that they can't really connect with. They don't feel themselves. They don't feel like this is how they should
like
act
same
or
look.
be, right?
Yeah.
Exactly. So they're forced to look outside of Japan and find cultures that resonate with them. Right? Just to, I guess, find freedom for themselves.
Freedom, and also like what they like, how they style with the fashion.
Right.
And also like when they go deeper, and then there's gonna be like a music culture, and then like more to
or what
learn.
What it stands for, right? So Chicano culture stands like for being free and liberated. So I guess that idea spoke to or speaks to a lot of Japanese people, right? They want to feel liberated from the Japanese culture. So especially I feel like for women in Japan that are into Chicana style, because the Chicana style is supposed to invoke like toughness and feminine strength and something in confidence. And that's something the traditional Japanese woman is not supposed to have, right?
No.
So in Japan, again, Japanese women are supposed to be submissive, stay in the house, not have their own jobs, not have their own money, obey their partners. But the Chicana idea is like the opposite, right? Independence, liberated from these tight social rules, right? Fighting against the power. So the way they do their makeup, fashion, kind of shows their admiration for this culture. But again, if you ask a Chicana in LA, they for sure will feel it's appropriation, right? Like they're stealing their culture without asking, pretty much. But then you can argue, don't all cultures kind of steal?
In a way,
right?
I think so. Yeah.
That's also a way of how different cultures spread around the world. Right?
Yeah.
Like food culture, right? Do Japanese chefs, are they only allowed to cook Japanese food?
Yeah. Or like
an
the
Italian,
only Japanese chefs are allowed to use Japanese knife.
Right? So I mean, this is an example we can talk about because we're chefs ourselves, but it's a way to spread different hobbies, education to other cultures, right? But I think a lot of Japanese Chicanos, maybe they don't fully understand, like you said, it's like the gangster look, right? With that involves violence, a lot of deaths. So you're taking this culture, but maybe you're not honoring where it's from or the lives that were lost, right? So I think a lot of real Chicanos might find it offensive. But again, with all the Japanese subcultures, I don't feel like they are meant, they don't mean any harm.
No.
Right? They're just trying to find freedom within the other culture. Is that how you feel too?
In
like with Japanese subcultures, like
I think so.
Right?
Yeah. I mean, I don't think like all those people who get into any style from other culture. I think like some of them, yes, they might don't understand all of the cultures, but they still, first of all, they love the culture, right? So if you love the culture, something you have to know, which is you should do it or not. But to me, if there's a respect, then why not?
Yeah, right. If there's respect and there's a level of work put in, like you try to educate yourself on the history, where it came from. I feel if you did that work and you're fully invested into it, then
I think that's
totally
okay. Yeah. Because otherwise, again, like there's so many things are kind of
well, nowadays like I feel like people get offended so easily at the same time, right?
Yeah.
But it's tough because Japan's an island. Right. It's hard for new things brought in, new Japanese things leaving, right? So being an island culture, it's also different too. It's like really insulated, right? But check out, there's a few documentaries on YouTube about the Japanese Chicano movement or subculture, which is quite interesting. Next, we have Decora fashion.
Decora fashion.
Decora fashion. I feel like if you see any videos or pictures of Harajuku in Tokyo, you know what we're talking about. So where does this word come from? Decora.
The Decora, the name came from the word decorative. Most of people say it's from decorative, but some people say also from decoration. Yeah. But I think it's
just
decorative.
Japanglish for
exactly.
So Decora.
Decora. And then the name refers to the style's distinct use of many decoration and then accessories.
Yeah, when you see like a Decora, a person that's into this Decora subculture, you notice that they have a lot of accessories, like overkill. Clips, bracelets, pins, like just so many. It feels heavy.
Yeah, right.
Looking at them feels heavy.
Yeah.
So the people who wear this style, they're called
Decora-chan.
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 So apparently this style originated in the late 1990s, early 2000s in Harajuku. Rose to great popularity both in and outside Japan. The magazine called Fruits kind of made Decora fashion famous around the world because this magazine was written in English.
English, exactly. Yeah.
So it just taught people how to dress,
how to where to buy stuff. Yeah.
So apparently this style's peak hit in the mid 2000s, but it's still popular and well known in Harajuku. I would say mostly in Harajuku, right?
Mostly in Harajuku. Yeah.
Even like going back to the Chicano style, I think it's like it's already hit its peak. I feel like it's kind of on the downswing in Japan. Mostly, I think the love of lowriders is keeping this culture alive, right?
Yeah.
But yeah, Decora still has a large following worldwide. So let's describe the style of Decora.
Well, the style Decora is a playful and childlike style. It looks like a little bit childish.
Yeah. For sure.
Right? And it has less of silly-hearted and
silhouette. Silhouette.
And it's more like focused on the use of accessories and then like we say, like
and
a
color
lot of
schemes,
like colors and
So you can have like different types of Decora. You can have pink Decora, red Decora, rainbow Decora. So a lot of colors. You can have neon color Decora. They mostly get their accessories like really cheap, like 100 yen shop.
Yeah, 100 yen shop.
So if you're like a pink Decora, you just wear everything pink.
And it makes sense because like if you want to wear like tons of accessories and if it's expensive,
how you gonna do it, right?
Exactly. And most of the people who wear this, I mean mostly it's female and they're like young.
Exactly.
Like teenager to like early 20s.
So like, less of a silhouette. So it's like hoodies on top of like shirts, tights with like tutu type skirts over it. A lot of Decora fashion is inspired by cartoon characters from the 80s, like American cartoon characters. So for example, Powerpuff Girls. Yeah. Okay. Strawberry Shortcake, Hello Kitty, Care Bears, Pokemon, the Smurfs. So very much like childlike.
Yep.
Right? So again, I feel like this subculture is used for, it's a form of escapism as well, right? To escape the confines of Japanese society.
Yep.
They want to be childlike, almost like the Lolita subculture.
Exactly,
that we talked about, right?
It's very similar concept, I would say.
Yeah, right. They want to go against the responsibilities that are expected of you in Japan.
Yeah.
This is just how they choose to look. So again, stockings, leg warmers, knee-high socks. Just I feel like it's very layered style, right? Leopard prints. You see them like the COVID mask, they'll like decorate it as well.
I think even before they're already wearing mask.
Yes.
Just because
Well, in
that's
Japan,
their fashion, right?
Everyone was wearing masks
Anyway, yes, it was,
But for them, they'll like put all sorts of accessories on it as well. It's kind of like almost like it's too busy. They have too much shit going on, right?
But the makeup for them is like more like minimal.
Oh, okay, okay.
I don't think it's not like a kanguro gal or
Fair
those
enough.
like gals.
Yeah.
So like who rose to prominent in a Harajuku fashion sense before her oh, sorry. I read the wrong one.
Well, so the accessories, a lot of glitter, a lot of stickers, hair clips, buttons, like anything you can find that matches your color of decora, they put it on. So Risuke was going to start to talk about it. Is who are some people who brought this subculture to prominence?
Kelly Pami.
Okay.
And she's the singer.
Okay.
I think some listeners know about her. And then she looks like that we describe.
Okay.
Yeah. So like colorful clothes and like I don't think she wears so much accessories just because she's artist, right?
Okay.
But like the looks is really much so like.
Okay.
And then I think there was a famous the designer.
Okay.
And then he invented the fashion, how to say, the brand.
Okay.
Yeah. It's called 6% Doki Doki.
6% Doki Doki.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then some videos about her, the music video, they put all the clothes for her.
Okay.
Yeah. So like Decora-chan, they love 6% Doki Doki clothes. And then that's also why I think the Decora popular and then Kelly Pami gets popular. Yeah.
Anyone else?
One more. Her name is Haruku.
Okay.
She's even younger than Kelly Pami.
How old is Kelly Pami?
I think she's like late 20 now.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Oh, so when she started, super young.
Yeah, exactly.
That's the thing in Japan. There's a lot of like super young, like early teenage idols.
Yeah.
Right? Idol groups. Yeah.
And the other girl, she called Haruku. And then she's in the idol group called Rainbow Panic.
Okay.
But obviously, because it's Japanese, they love shorten. Everybody call Rei Pani.
Ray Penny.
Yeah. And she's the yellow one. Looks like she always wear yellow clothes. And then her character name is Kira Kira Kawaii Angel. Yeah.
I feel like in Japan, there's a lot of underground idol groups too.
So many.
Like there's so many idol groups.
Many. Yeah.
Like not everyone is super famous, but I feel like everyone has their diehard fans. And which is super weird is that generally for these like girl groups, they're like super young girls.
Yep.
Almost would you say it's kind of like exploiting them? Like it's like child labor almost. But a lot of their fans are like middle-aged men.
Yeah.
It's like super creepy. And a lot of these girl groups like they don't sell out concert halls. They just do it like in small clubs
like music
like
venue,
yeah,
like
right?
Basement.
And it's like pop music with like choreographed dance moves to go with the songs. And all these like old guys know the moves.
Yep.
It's like kind of super creepy. But I think we watched a documentary and they're saying that these guys feel like it's not like a sexual thing. It's more like they feel that these girls are like their daughters. They want to take care of them, right?
Exactly.
So buying their merchandise, their CDs. It's a way to support them.
And
right?
that happened to opposite side as well.
Okay.
So like female fans loves male idols.
Fair enough.
And then big time they think they're not even that fan. They're like
moms.
Exactly. They want to support the idols.
Are there male, like young male idol groups too?
Yeah, I mean from Johnny's.
Okay.
If you, I don't know Johnny's. You don't
know?
It's the like big the music record company.
Okay.
And basically, they have all those like good-looking guys group, and like they've been there for like since like 80s. So like the men's idol group is mostly from Johnny's.
Okay.
Yeah.
Which is like a record label.
Yeah. Yeah.
Are a lot of these like idol groups, they get washed up real quick, right? Because it's like
most of them.
So
yes.
once they hit like the early 20s, they can't do it anymore, right?
So that's why like all those like young male idols, they always goes to Johnny's Junior first.
Okay.
And then they got trained. Then
wow.
They became one of the idol group. If you know how to dance and sing and
wow, it's like a factory.
Exactly. Yeah.
Have you ever been to an idol show?
Me?
Yeah.
No.
So apparently these idol shows, as well as because a lot of their fans are like middle-aged working people, a lot of these shows that they put on are like early in the morning, like 6 a.m. before work starts.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Super weird, man. Super weird. Anyway.
Yeah.
So, anything else to add? So pretty much the point of this episode, especially about the Chicano subculture, is whether or not you feel like these Japanese subcultures are stealing, appropriating these other cultures. Are they paying enough respect? And I guess it's a debate. Some people will feel like it's wrong, it's racist, right? Like I always joke that like when I see white people wearing a kimono, it's like, oh, that's racist, right? But again, if you're paying respects, if you're educating yourself from the history of it, then why not, right? That's how it's appreciation, right?
And as a Japanese, when we see the people who wearing kimono or like yukata, whatever, we actually don't think like, oh, you guys stealing our culture.
Okay.
For us, it's like, oh, good, you're looking good. Because like,
so how about like cosplay? This subculture came from Japan, right? Dressing up like anime video game characters, that's a Japanese thing. So when you see manga conventions, cosplay conventions all around the world now, do you feel that's appropriation?
No, it's good.
No?
I think for Japanese, actually, they're happy to see it. Like,
spreading,
it goes to all of the world.
I feel like when Japanese kind of take a culture, like for example, we talked about it before, rockabilly, that greaser style, they don't take it with any like ill will or like they're not kind of making fun of it or anything. They're really embracing it.
They're actually serious about it.
Right, really serious about it. So when they see other cultures kind of, maybe take is the wrong word, but adapt Japanese culture, form of culture, they don't see it as bad as well because they don't, when they're taking it, they don't feel it's bad. So same thing, when they see it being taken, it's not a negative thing. It's spreading culture, spreading hobbies, right? Interests. That's how shit gets spread, pretty much, right? So this brings us to our Japanglish segment for today. We have 2 words. The first word is
Imechen,
which is short for
image change.
So like a new look. You changing your image. Again, a lot of Japanglish shorten and combining 2 English words. Image change image change.
Yeah.
To get a new look. So, for example, when you see your friend get a new hairstyle that's like very different from their normal style.
あれ Image change した
Nice. So,
Did you change your look?
Did you change your look? Image change. Did you get an image change? I think that's pretty self-explanatory, right?
Yep.
Next word.
Boom.
Boom.
Yeah.
Boom.
Yeah.
Short for boom. Oh, not short, just Japanglish for boom.
Japanglish, yeah.
So it's a fad, new trend, a boom. Almost, yeah, self-explanatory as well.
Yeah.
So, for example.
海外では今ラーメンブームだよね。There's a ramen boom outside of Japan.
Okay. I feel like the ramen boom was maybe in like the early 2000s. What's the
I'll say even now.
Yeah, now more and more.
Right?
That's true.
Because we just see more ramen restaurant popping up, or there's a like old style Japanese restaurant.
Yeah.
And then they add it on the menu.
Yes. Yeah, a lot of like old school sushi joints now sell ramen too.
Exactly.
Right, just because they know Western people know it, right?
Or even like old Chinese restaurant.
Yes.
They used to call different name for the soup noodles.
Yeah.
But like sometimes I see like it says ramen because it's easy to describe.
Exactly. Yeah.
Right.
People know it's ramen. But actually, I think the Chinese restaurants, because they call it ramen because it's lai mein, like pulled noodles. Right? So a lot of those restaurants use ramen. But again, it's because Westerners know, right? But when you see like Western chefs start making ramen, you know you're like in the peak of the boom.
Exactly.
Right? Yeah. There's still not that many, I would say, white chefs making sushi. There are a few.
Right? Few, but not a lot.
Not a lot, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so that does it for today's episode. Again, the two Japanglish words are imechen and boom. Thank you for joining us today. I hope you enjoyed our subculture episodes. Let us know if you want to hear more about different Japanese subcultures. If not, we'll stop doing them, but because this is already the fourth one. But please let us know. We love any type of interaction with our listeners. And if our listeners give us any suggestions, we will take them on board. If you guys have any ideas for new episodes, we always like to hear them. I mean, it's less thinking for us.
And it's always feeling great. Like,
honestly,
you guys suggesting us, like, can you talk this and that?
Right.
That means we felt like, oh, you guys actually really listening, right?
And care.
Yeah. And
you like how we are presenting it.
Yeah.
Even though it does still feel really awkward at times. But again, we plan to continue doing this podcast. You know, we're still young. It's only like 8 months.
Like 8 months.
7 months in.
Yeah.
So again, please rate, review, and subscribe, and follow all our socials. It would be super much appreciated.
はい。お願いします。
ありがとう。
ありがとう。
バイバイ。
バイバイ。